All right, good evening, veteran community here in Santa Cruz. As you can see, we're bringing here today with not the best of news, but wanted to get this information out to you through actually in person and talking to you in person, and not just through our monthly email where you would get this news. So, as you know, as of next month, we were planning to roll out a couple new services within our organization. Those being the housing placement with the building of tiny homes within the community with the land that we bought, also some alternative drug rehab therapy that we were going to provide, and then further access and accelerated access to more service dogs. Now, as a veteran myself, it pains me to say that we're not going to meet that deadline. As members of the military, we all know we have deadlines and we strive to hit them. But that does not mean that we haven't came up with other resources to fill the gap until we do plan on hitting this deadline now in June of 2022. So about a 6-month delay. One thing that really took a hit with all of these kind of being held back was the COVID pandemic. As you know, we've all been living in it for almost 2 years now. And the effects of the pandemic aren't just a health wise, but now we're seeing the backup of a lot of shipping materials, a lot of materials on shipping containers and ships that are sitting off the port all around the world right now. There is a large delay for a lot of corporations, and I have to say, unfortunately, it is affecting us as well. So I wanted to explain why these delays are happening individually for each of these new services that we were planning to provide. I do also want to state before we really go into that is that there is going to be no hiccups in what we already provide. Everything that is already on the table is not going away, and we are going to have some workarounds of how we're going to get through these next 6 months and give the services that to the veterans that absolutely need it, that are in dire need at this point. We've already reached out to the local communities, other communities nearby, and they've already are going to be assisting and get us up and running where we can give that outreach to the individuals that absolutely need it. So first off, I'd like to talk to you about the delay in the homes being built. So as you know, we purchased a lot of land, and the plan was to have these tiny homes built for some of the veterans that needed some shelter and housing. But right now, with the shipping delay because of COVID, we're getting word that all of the pre-built tiny homes, they're on a ship and they pretty much can't get into the port right now. So there's not a whole lot that we can do about that. Now, what this delay actually does give us time to is we already had our eyes on another piece of land, so we could start developing more and even providing more houses. So we're already in works talk with the local community to purchase that land. So once we get those tiny homes, we'll be able to get them up and also be able to already have more on order where we can have even a bigger community built for the veterans with those tiny homes. So at the time to kind of work around and give a chance for people that absolutely need that housing, we've worked out with local hotels and also local veterans that have open rooms in their house for those individuals that through these winter months, as it starts to get a little chillier here, they will have a roof over their head and a way to have some shelter and have a way to get a good night's rest and not be out on the streets. Now, the second one being the alternative drug therapy. Now, this is something we really, really want to advocate for, the use of different things, different methods, not just the traditional methadone and other things that are used, but using other psychedelics and also, forms of Tai Chi and different things like this. Once again, it kind of comes down to there was a shortage in staff and also a shortage in funding. It comes down as us being a nonprofit, we do need funding, and right now, we are working hard to get that back on track. Now, that means all the therapy that we already do have, the traditional therapy, is still there. That doesn't mean there's going to be any hiccup in that. So for those that are already in that program, they're still going to be able to. And then also we've reached out to other local communities that if we have any influx of patients and anybody that absolutely needs that help, that in these local surrounding communities, they have already said that they'll have a room and that they'll open it up. And then we obviously always do the same thing. If the other communities have people that need help right away, if we have an open seat in our program, we're absolutely going to bring them in. Now, last one is the service dogs. And I know this is kind of a big one because the waiting list is already so long for it. And this kind of comes down once again to delay from some of the dogs not progressing as quickly. Also, some of the dogs being just not being able to be in the program because they just weren't going to be a good fit. Now, this kind of does, it hurts right now, but also we would not want to provide a dog that isn't going to be able to provide the correct services or the services that you guys absolutely need. So the good thing is some of them did make it through the training on time and on track. So as of now, we do have a small number of dogs. For the ones that are most in need, that have been on that waiting list the longest, they're going to be able to have that access. Come December, it's going to be up and running. They'll have their service dogs. Just for kind of to help out people that absolutely need a little bit more help, we already have more part-time counselors that are going to be coming on board for the winter months, and social workers on our staff to help navigate the people that maybe need that service dog. So if they need someone to go with them to the store, or if they have anxiety going somewhere, or something might trigger them going somewhere, they can request somebody a few days ahead of time where we can go out, help them. Or if it's something they absolutely don't want to leave their house, we're providing, being able to pick up groceries for them, pick up medicines for them, whatever it may be at this time. So in conclusion, I deeply personally apologize myself. Like I said, being a veteran, it hurts to say that we missed our deadline, but some of this stuff was from outside factors, and we're working hard to make sure that these products and these services that we're giving to you are going to be 100% on board and are going to be something that we are proud of and you can be proud of. So we apologize once again, and as veterans, as you have all gone out and supported and helped our community, it is our job to give you that same support. So the community has rallied around us and said they will help us in whatever they need to get us to where we can get those people in shelters, can get the service dogs, can get the rehabilitating therapy that everybody needs. So thank you for your time. And once again, if there's any questions, feel free to come up and speak to me afterwards. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.